Hey Ben, I have no idea what the hell would have happened there. Moobot? Jeez, it said for spam. I don't think you were actually spamming anything, but you're not in trouble or anything, Ben. I need to go fix up my Moobot settings, but how are you doing on this lovely Tuesday evening? But yeah, Ben, actually this playthrough of Crystal here, this is the first game I ever streamed. And this is still the same save file from when I started my streaming and stuff. And we have literally completed almost the entire doable Pokédex without trading or involving like another game cartridge. Because all we have left is Blissey, which we have the Chansey we're working with right now. Entei, of course, and Executor. Also, let's all open our TCG pockets. Everybody pull out your TCG pocket and check it. We gotta go ahead and do that right at the start. Doing a pack of Ruler of the Skies. Let's see what we got today. Got Skitty, Helioptile, Duat, Apom, and Sarmy. No big explosive super foil cards or anything today. Alrighty, let's go ahead and put away TCG Pocket and play some Crystal. Also, do I sound okay? Does the game audio and everything sound okay? Not off balance or anything? Hi, Whoopie. How are you doing today on this lovely Tuesday evening? We're back at it in Johto. Sound as darling as ever. Oh, thank you, Whoopie. Oh my gosh. Like frame one, you start flirting with me. Keep doing it. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the underground and get Fritter her haircut. You see, one of the things that makes Crystal a great streaming game is that there are little daily things you can do to start the stream, so you're not like opening the stream with anything important before people come in and realize you're live. Watch it become beautiful. Excuse me, my Chansey is already beautiful. That's a lot of money! Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at my my gameplay time, we're almost at 200 hours. We've fought the Elite Four a few times already. And, you know, I always do rematches and stuff like that. The crazy thing is I've actually spent a lot of money, so that's about maybe 30% of what I had. Stop forgetting where I put my clothes. You won't get any complaints from me. Thank you so much, Whoopie, for that 25 stream streak. Does it really trust me? Oh shit, we should be able to get a Blissey now. You know, let's just go back to Mount Silver and just switch turning her off of a few Golbats and Tangalas or whatever. But yeah, today we are actually going to try to hunt down Entei, because I don't really have much else left to do. Polly was like, talk to the hand. Back when Poliwhirl had fingers. It's one of those little design things I feel like a lot of people don't notice. But after I think like Generation 3 or 4, Poliwhirl went like full-on boxing gloves. Because they actually don't really drastically change Pokemon designs that often. A lot of times any design changes are really subtle stuff like that. It's like if Mr. Mime going from having 4 fingers to having 5. He has the Pac-Man gloves, yeah. Of course, also there's the fact that in Generation 1 and 2, you know, like, this is before Pokemon was, you know, one of the defining media properties of human history. Because keep in mind, a lot of people thought after Crystal that Pokemon was just going to kind of die out. You know, like that had ran its course as a fad. Which I know that's really funny to think about nowadays, but that was pretty much the attitude in the early 2000s. Especially because with Ruby and Sapphire, and I've mentioned this before, but when they first came out, there was no way to get any Generation 1 or 2 Pokemon except for maybe like, and yes, this is incredibly funny that it turned out this way, but there were only 67 Generation 1 and 2 Pokemon available in Ruby and Sapphire. Because keep in mind, when Ruby and Sapphire came out, you know, nobody had any idea that Pokemon Coliseum or Fire Red or Leaf Green or anything like that were on the horizon. So a lot of people just thought, you know, that almost all of the Pokemon were just wiped from existence. And a bunch of people dropped the franchise because they couldn't get their favorites anymore. They just thought they were gone. And I mean, like, we obviously should have known better because, like, you know, there was still a ton of merchandise and stuff that had, like, Tyranitar and Houndoom and Venusaur and Charizard and Blastoise and everything. Said the funny number, chat. Just had to be that number. Is the number really that funny? Because I don't find it funny. I don't know if it's funny on its own, but I feel like people's incredibly averse reaction to the fact that it's a meme that's popular with people that are so young is part of the funny. So it's more people's reaction to the meme than the number itself actually being funny. I mean, 69's funny because haha sex. But like, also I personally kind of have a fondness for the 6'7" meme because my mom would have been 67 years old in 2025, which is when the meme became popular, so I just choose to believe everybody was celebrating my mom's birthday. Damn, we do not have a Blissey yet. .420 is funny because weed! You know, I would actually really like to know the history of how 420 became the weed number. Like, I'm pretty sure it's because of the time, you know, 20 minutes after 4 o'clock, but I'm curious how that specific time became, like, the time to snoop your dog. The time to go hang out with Mary Jane Watson. Alrighty. First. Okay. Let's go ahead and put Dorito. Oh, actually, Ben, since I don't think you've watched any of my Crystal streams, I'll go ahead and go over my main team. Was going to be the ones who are leveling up for Red. Also the ones I used for the playthrough, but we have Musketeers the Magneton. We have Cheeto Chew the Quagsire. Dorito the Meganium. Jelly Bean, our Espeon. And Max Toast the Fearow. Oh yeah, and we also have Taki, our Growlithe. Or Arcanine. I keep calling him a Growlithe. I feel so bad about it because he was a Growlithe for so long. Dorito, the long-awaited sequel to Dorito. Actually, that's exactly why he has that name. You see, the thing is, all of the Pokemon I have caught in this game, because I think you've watched my Fire Red and Leaf Green streams, where all the Pokemon have drink names. All of the Pokemon here, except for a couple, all have names after food and snacks. And the thing is, my very first stream, I started with a Chikorita and named it Dorito. And, I ended up accidentally deleting my save data because I messed up putting in the time at the beginning. And there's a certain button combination to reset the timer, but I accidentally put in the button combination to reset your save data. And the thing is, the save data reset is the one menu in the game that flips the yes and no responses, and I wasn't paying attention to that, and I accidentally hit yes. Thankfully, I had only played for like an hour and a half maybe, because my first time streaming, I just did not have the stamina, because I just wasn't used to, you know, sitting there and talking nonstop for several hours while also playing a video game and reading chat. So I really only lost an hour of progress, because everything you see here is from day 2 onward. But since I had to start over, I named the Chikorita Dorito. And Maxtos actually has her name because I originally did catch a Spearow on that first, like, hour and a half playthrough. But I named the other Spearow Mentos, like the breath freshener. And the thing is, Mentos is M-E-N-T-O-S. But I accidentally spelled it M-I-N-T-O-S, and Kubi, one of my good friends who's also a streamer, she was in the chat, and she was kind of making a joke of the fact that I spelled Mentos wrong, and she joked that Mentos implies the existence of Maxtos. So, that's how we have Maxtos the Fearow. And Cheeto Chew was ostensibly going to be Cheeto, but, another one of my wonderful bestest friend kind of people, Hexchew, is a huge Wooper enthusiast. Thing is, I don't really think I knew Whoopie that well at the time, because this was like a year ago. Because it probably would have been a Whoopie-themed name, because, you know, she's Tiny Wooper. But yeah, like, Wooper and Quagsire were among Hex's favorite, the Hexchew. And Hex also really, really loves Cheetos, and, like, just spicy hot chips in general. So the Quagsire became Cheeto Chew. Do I need to deposit any items? I need to finally sell that goddamn nugget. It's been in my inventory for like weeks at this point. Wait, okay, no, I went over here to get Mellow Cream back out. Sorry, I got too busy telling the story all about how my Pokemon got flipped, turned upside down. Okay, we're gonna move Mellow Cream to the top spot. Because Mellow Cream is at level 34 very specifically. Because when I finally find a place where Entei actually is, what you do is I use a repel, and when repels work, they will make you not encounter any Pokemon that are at a lower level than your lead Pokemon. And the Entei is at level 40, so we need a Pokemon under level 40, but 34 was also the level where Mellow Cream will outspeed Entei and can use Hypnosis. Mean Look is basically useless, because if you Mean Look any of the roaming dogs, they will immediately just use Roar. Because fun fact, while Red, Blue, and Yellow will read your inputs, and you can't really, like, predict the enemy AI, generally Gold, Silver, and Crystal won't. Literally, the only time it'll input read is if you put in Mean Look. They sell the house here. Never glare at a doggo, because it will pinch back. Sell the nugget! That's why I came in here. Oh my gosh, my ADHD is, like, really hitting me. Got 2 super repels. Sell the chicken nugget. Then what do I do with all my sweet and sour sauce? Okay, zooming through the decks. But yeah, aside from Executor, Blissey, and Entei, everything else that we haven't caught here, you either need to trade with another game, or it's like a trade evolution. Oh, and there's also Ho-Oh, but we can't get Ho-Oh until we catch Entei anyway. What you doing all the way up there? Okay, walking time. Because whenever you change areas, the roaming Pokemon will move around. And generally, if you fly, it'll just completely scramble it to a random spot, so... You can't just fly to where it's located and walk right to it. Hi, Rain! How are you doing today on this lovely Tuesday evening? We're out for Entei, and we're also going to train up the cuties some. Just use the game a smidge loud. Okay, I'll turn it down. Give me a sec. Trying not to suffer from weather migraines. Yeah, I've been kind of fighting that on and off all day, too, because, there was just, like, a massive thunderstorm that started at about 5:30. And it only let up maybe, like, an hour ago. It's like... I had to close all my windows that were, like, slightly open because water was coming in from the screens. Because the rain was, like, diagonally. Coming in diagonally, that's how you complete a sentence. Yeah, it only lasted like that for about 20 minutes, and then it just kind of calmed down. But, like, yeah, there was, like, freaking thunder and lightning and stuff like that. Thankfully, I didn't lose power. Similar, but didn't last very long, yeah. Thunder, rain, and lightning. Hi, Alan. Hello, it's me, Alan. I've studied quite a bit since then, and I've gotten a lot better. I'm hanging out on Route 36. Can you come down for a battle? I'll see you later. No, I don't... Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna fly there. Immediately made me think of the post you made the other day instead of the Sonic song. Like, as you stated, that was a joke for whom exactly 4 people were the target audience, including myself. And it is funny because all 3 of those other people liked the post almost immediately. And I still, like, find it... I try not to toot my own horn very much, but I was giggling about it at work for part of the day, just because. Just because. Also, I really hope you looked at the alt text for all of those images. Okay, good. Nice to know I was not alone in my giggling. Because a lot of times my own humor is so specific to me that, like... half the time I just won't even post or tell anybody about it because I'm like, yeah, this is so many angles of like neurodivergent esoteric connectivity that nobody's gonna get this, but until I explain it to the point where it's no longer funny. Oh wait, that's right. I forgot getting over by Ecritique's not that much of a chore, since we can just walk straight here from Cherry Grove. Alan. Just look at the alt. Alan, did that man ever wake? Oh my gosh, Micaiah, what are you doing, girl? I waited around for you. I'm thoroughly prepared today. Satu. Psychic battle. A psychic blast. What'll it be? Oh, it's a hit. Like, comment, and subscribe if the Pokemon Stadium announcer also lives rent-free in your brain. Why is Xatu hitting? Yeah, gotta do it to him, because Xatu does gotta do it to them. That's just how Xatu rolls. Also at work, I have gotten multiple, like, call tickets or whatever, where, like, it'll show the client's name or whatever, and multiple of them have been named Tangela. Like, it's spelled exactly like Tangela, and I really have to try really hard not to call them Tangela. Quagsire. You know, honestly, low-key, though, Alan, you know, started with, like, just a Tangela the first time you fight him, but he's actually built up a pretty decent little balanced team. Oops, computation error. Because the thing is, like, I have, for most of my playthrough, I had, all of the, phone call people you can get for the other evolution stones, but I had forgotten who the leaf stone person was, and I only added them, like, maybe a month or two ago. Okay. So Entei's not that far. It's right by Cherry Grove. Oh shit, okay, I need to move, Boyd. It's very funny because Crystal, because, you know, now I generally go live, or between, like, 6 and 8 in the evening in my time zone. Come on. And, but Crystal, due to how the in-game time thing works, has gotten me some really inconsistent stream times. Because, you know, you have to, like, play in the morning to get certain Pokemon and certain events and stuff. Because I legit had some, like, 9 a.m. streams and shit. Hello, is this the meeting? Why, yes it is. How are you doing today, Maddie, on this lovely Tuesday evening? We are hunting Entei. Maybe. Wait, shit, am I actually in the right place? Are things actually working out? Okay, see, what we're gonna do is I'm going to save my game. And if I fuck this up and Entei bails or whatever, then we just soft reset. Make sure you still... Sometimes, even if you're in the same area, they'll just leave. Come on. Okay. Just woke up from a 2 or 3 hour nap. One long blink away from going right back there. I feel that. Especially with the weather how it's been. Dad? I'm never letting you go out for milk again. Feel the power of my heavy balls. I was here! Preemptive. Don't you fucking do it. Kick that legendary Pokemon back to the Virtual Boy. Get back to sleep, Dad. Don't worry, Dad. Just go back to sleep. Dog is gonna fight us whether it wants to or not. Well, you can't just fire, spin, and dip. That's bad etiquette. Scrappy one, ain't he? I guess let's just try regular Ultra Ball. Put his cigarette on our candy. Okay, come on. This one's the one. I hope so. Fuck. Okay, come on. Ah! God fucking damn it. Maybe if we tell him he doesn't have to pay the child support since we're adults. No, it's not a dead run at all. It's, we're back. The dinosaur story. Okay, nobody's gonna know what the hell that is. Make sure soft resetting didn't randomly fuck it up for some reason. I do. Okay, thank you, Ben. God fucking damn it. If you soft reset, he doesn't stay in the same place. Ooh, angry. How could you do this to me? Why would you do that to a sweet, sensitive little mouse? So does it just reset his location every time you power on the game? It's mouse phobic, I know. Didn't even offer me any constellation cheese. How could this happen to me? I made my mistake. Ah! It does scramble it every time you reset. How fucking dare you? At it again with the anti-player design. Fatherless behavior that persists when on the game's walls. Damn. Well, fuck. Holy shit, Maddie with a 75 stream streak. Wow. Thank you so much. Number, go up! We love number go up. Entei's a Mishima due to that info. You see, we can't even throw him into a volcano. He'll just get stronger. Number. Okay. See where this bitch-ass motherfucker went. Okay, maybe we can trick him back into the same spot. Throw Entei into a therapy clinic. I mean, I'm at least glad I had the good sense to use the Master Ball on Raikou. To make an announcement, Entei's a bitch-ass motherfucker. Yeah, my patience with him is about the size of this walnut, but way smaller. It's a dog that likes to swim, but only swims in volcanoes, because it's fucking impossible to get him out of the lava magma. I mean, I always interpreted the three legendaries as like, Entei is a lion, Raikou is a tiger, and Suicune is a leopard. What is a lion but a dog? I mean, I guess since it's based on the Shishi statues, it could be both. Cat/dog things. Though it is fascinating that most big cats, if they actually do become friendly with humans, they act pretty darn similarly to domestic cats. So it's very interesting that just like feline concepts of like play and camaraderie are pretty universal. among the fuzzy folk. You're looking at Big Cat. If dangerous, why friend-shaped? Blue. Black. We got the red, the blue, and the black Capricorn. Oh dear. No, I actually really like Stantler. I thought it getting an evolution in Legends Arceus was freaking awesome. And I actually used a Stantler in one of my recent playthroughs of Silver on 3DS. No, because I really wanted to make a team full of stuff I hadn't really used before. Trying to see if I can remember it off the top of my head. It was, I had Fearow, because I just use Fearow all the time, because Fearow's awesome. But it was Fearow, Weepinbell, Nidoqueen, Stantler, Hypno. I'm trying to remember what the last one was. Oh, and, Lantern. Had my hand latched on by teeth and all 4 sharp paws of a cat before, and I only cried for 10 minutes, so Big Cat can't be all that dangerous. This motherfucker. Keep schmoving. Cannot stay off the dance floor. Evacuate the dance floor. Maybe if you tell her my mom's willing to talk things out. Matt, you see, I guess, like, what, Suicune would be mom and Entei's dad, and Raikou the cool uncle who always seems to be busy, but the few times you do get to hang out, his house is really cool, because he's got, like, a sports car, and he has an N64 and a PlayStation, so he lets you play his games. It's like, yeah, little buddy, you can have your own save file, and pats you on the back. Oh, shit, give me a sec. I think I have a knock at the door. I'll be right back. Bleh. Who dares disturb the mouse in these late hours? A door? Dad? No. Stronger than me, I wouldn't answer it. Easier to do when you don't live alone, yeah. No, thankfully it wasn't anything bad. It was just my landlord, which, okay, that makes it sound bad. But, no, you see, a downside of living out in the middle of the country is, my water comes from a well. Not like a medieval one where I have to go get it with a bucket, but it's like, you know, an electric thing with a tank and all that stuff. Which, 99.9% of the time, is fine. Like Frontier's title card, Landlord. But no, the power pole got hit by lightning, and they're gonna have to have somebody come fix it tomorrow, so... Thankfully, I thought to take a shower before any of this happened, but... I have plenty of backup water, so that's not an issue. It's just gonna be mildly annoying tonight. But speaking of, I am gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and everybody stretch, grab something to drink. Sorry I walked away from the stream so randomly like that. We'll go and run an ad real quick. Everybody stand up, stretch, hydrate. Yeah, you already got the hydrate in there, Rain. Take a nice big sippy of your favorite caffeine-free, sugar-free beverage of choice. I got my ice water here. And I'll be back in just a second. The mouse returns. Yo, if anyone's watching the YouTube VOD of this, what's up? No, I love my VOD watchers so much. It makes me so happy that people do want to not just come watch my streams, because I love that you guys come watch my streams too, but I love that, you know, people find it interesting enough to want to watch it even if it's not live. Okay, we're in Monogamy Town. Because quite a few of my I'm not saying this to brag or anything, but like a few of my VODs on Twitch have gotten up to like 50 or 60 views, which makes me really happy that, you know, because I'm sure a lot of it is just one person watching it in like 30 to 40 minute chunks here and there. Not, you know, like probably like 5 or 6 people coming back to it repeatedly to finish the rest of it, like work breaks and stuff. But even then, like that makes me so happy. And I actually do it to preserve my streams as well. That's the original reason I started uploading them to YouTube at all. Wait, I think I'm in the right place for Entei, actually. Okay. Though it seems like, and I'm probably gonna like, it's probably gonna change this as I say it, and then Twitch will fuck me over on it, but it seems like Twitch has really loosened up on the whole thing about deleting your VODs after 2 weeks. Because I have some on Twitch that are a month old now, and it's just chilling and hanging there. And it's not giving me like the deletion warning on any of the old ones either. Ah shit, they're all gone, god damn it. Even the stream you're watching now is gone. Oh no, they're deleting the VOD in advance! Ah! No! Have them all recorded so I can just make a VODs channel myself. I just knew it would come to this. We're getting Thanos stabbed as we speak! We're all a figment of each other's imagination. I don't know, like, if my imagination is good enough to imagine so many cool and sexy people, I don't think I want reality. First we lost Dad, now we lost Mouse. You're gonna have to play like the 2007 PC port of Resident Evil 5 and aim with the number pad. The natural progression. Don't know if sexy would be a thing to describe. Well, I mean, Ben, you watch 7th Force, so that automatically makes you at least the minimum requirement to be sexy. And you like Yuri Sakazaki, so you've got good taste, too. Okay. Dad versus Balls. I just cracked my knuckles into the fucking microphone again. Why do I keep doing that? Hotness is a state of mind anyway. True. Oh my gosh, Moobot, leave Ben alone. Holy shit. Rain, can you please untime out Ben? Jeez, I'm so sorry, Ben. Moobot hates circles, wild. Thank you, Maddie. Peace. It's okay, I'm sorry. I didn't think Moobot would continue to piss on your wife. That was a mod thing. I forgot I was a mod that could do things. Moobot asshole. Like, why? That's the second time Moobot has just smacked Ben for no reason. Don't have a wife, but if I did, I would strangle Moobot. Uh-oh. Daddy's woke. God fucking damn it. Do we have mean look? If you mean look, I was actually talking about this like right before you came into the stream. If you mean look any of the roamers in this game, they will immediately use roar. Go to bed, Entei. It's past your bedtime. Take your meds. That's homophobic. It really is. Because I'm trying to give him a home and he doesn't want it. The home of phobia. You mean that one guy who does like the Castlevania and Pokemon glitch videos? Let's put on basketball or NASCAR and hope for the best. Or both. Wait, shit, that's just Rocket League. NASCAR. The newest dad sport. Every game of NASCAR comes with a complimentary cold beer. And whatever the fuck else dads do. I don't fucking know. I never had a dad. The Casprey? No, there's actually a YouTuber who's named Phobia. And he does the glitches you can try videos, if you've ever seen those and you recommended. Did a really good one on the Castlevania Sorrow games. That and ties into Pokemon Team Rocket and Elite Four. Wow. Oh my god. Something about mowing lawn and grills. Wowie zowie. The Pal's effect wore off. Need Entei to be grill master for our cookout. I feel like he's like that. I mean, like, he doesn't even need a grill. He can just fire. Ha! We have ice-cold Bud Light in the cooler next to the grill that has what used to be burgers and hot dogs. Any takers? That's anyone who is a man and has at least one kid? Wait, shit. Damn it. Oh, he fucking flip-flopping places with me. Ooh, this is annoying. Make a fire that gets slowly bigger until we have the fire department called on us? I mean, we hypothetically can, sure. Can we not ever once talk about emotions? Oh, you silly. Heterosexual men don't have emotions. The only emotions they're allowed is anger and solemn wistfulness. Dads love emotionally barren relationships from what I've seen. I don't know. I haven't seen any dads. I assume they're all fictional. Well, no shit. They're not even fictional. Most of the time in a lot of anime and games and stuff, there's no dads there either. It's no dad November. How fast is that big guy moving? Not even using the emeralds to warp. We're all grown from my mother's picturesque garden. Is that supposed to be a fancy way of saying uterus? No, that's indecent. Oh, okay. Why would we invade her personal space like that? Biology? Young people and your silly made-up words. Shit, I think Entei's like right below me. Okay, so I'm right there. Route 36. God damn it. I don't think I have a way to actually get over there without, like... This is 35. You stepped on him, and I was like, gum on your sole or shoe? Gumshoe. Oh shit, Phoenix Wright reference? My joke. Ha! The streamer gets joke priority. Because I read the chat immediately, but you guys don't hear what I say until like a couple seconds after. Whoa! Okay. Ah. See, this is what we did in 2000 and 2001 when we had downtime. This is what life without YouTube videos does to a motherfucker. You know what fucks me up seeing videos from like early YouTube and having them be like 20 years ago or whatever? And it's like, the idea of a YouTube video being 20 years old kind of fucks with my head. You know they call a detective that because the first ever criminal was 5 inches tall and they found them and the detective stepped on them. Kinky. Nothing should ever be 20 years old. Shit, back when YouTube videos had like a star rating and shit. I kind of understand why they're de-emphasizing dislikes, but it is actually kind of useful because there's a lot of misinformation videos out there, and it's pretty handy to be able to downvote those. So, like, publicly available dislikes had a function. Gonna be in, like, 2 years. Just push past it. Yeah, nobody stays 20 forever. Usually a year at most. No, legitimately 20 is an awkward age, because especially in the US, because a lot of, you know, the gateway to adulthood is at 21. So you're, like, kind of still a teenager a little bit, but you're also kind of not. So it's like you don't get any of those freebies and free affordances you would get from being a teenager, but you're also not really treated like an adult yet. Even then, it takes another 5 years to rent a car. Well, I mean, yeah, you have to get 4 years of beer training before you can start driving. Ah, awesome, she sells super repels by the seashore. I like how she just reopens her shop, and it's just like, yeah, you can go to the evil villain hideout that was also used to be over here. Just, you know, go hang out in the evil lair, as one does. I bet she uses it for storage now. What is this? Oh, it's an incense burner. I mean, it's still really weird to me that, like, at the age of 18, you cannot buy cigarettes or beer or rent a car, but you can join the military. It's like, yeah, you cannot be trusted with the cancer-causing addiction stick, but here, have an assault rifle. Ah, my quaint, folksy little country shop run by a kind old woman that was a freshly abandoned Yakuza hideout in the basement. I mean, hey, listen, the property was dirt cheap, okay, so... Oh, hi, Alan. Montz, are you raising your Pokemon properly? I read in a book that you should raise any Pokemon you catch with love and care. By the way, I knocked out a wild hoodoo just the other day. Studying up in advance worked. See you later. Now she's doing good deeds. Can't believe Alan threw hands with a bird. I'm sorry, but I just imagine Alan just running through like a bunch of scenery fighting a hoot hoot like the whole Peter Griffin versus the chicken meme. I mean, a way to be a bro is to give some handless animals some much-needed grabbers. You know, I kind of don't want to specify what it is, but if you know what anime I'm talking about, you'll know, but it could be spoilers if you don't. But it always made me low-key sad when there's a certain anime where one of the characters loses one of his arms in, like, the final arc, and then in the follow-up series, he's married, and I'm like, damn, you know, bro lost that arm before he ever even got to get laid even once, so, like, he never got to grab both his wife's boobs at the same time. It's tragic. You ever heard of a foot? Honestly, it's some pretty good innovation. Okay, shit, okay, we can get this, we can do this. Yeah, the TMNT mooks, right? Mook is like such an underutilized term. Since we can't really use goon to describe thugs anymore, we should bring back mook. Who up at night mooking it? Nah, like the measurement. Get out of here with those empirical measurements. Wait, shit, I'm in the wrong place? Why did you do that to me? Oh, I'm sorry, I leaned too close to my fan. I have a fan going. I move around a lot when I stream, which is something when I actually get an on-screen model I'm gonna have to wean myself out of. I hear waves personally. I get it. Ha. Okay, Entei, please just still be over here by the time I get over here. Okay, double checking my map. Okay. Hey, conch shells are no joke. True. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, 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 no. God fucking damn it. I have to put his ass on a home. Ball. I blame Ken Penders for this. I don't know why, but he gets... I'm pretty sure it's Ken Penders' fault, yeah. I mean, Ken Penders wrote a lot of really problematic dads, so, I'm pretty sure this problematic dad is also his fault. Pender Kenders, you sicken me. Fucking Kinder Egg. You know, Kinder Surprise eggs were actually illegal in America for a very long time. Because you would have a non-food item inside a food item. And that was just illegal. Which, like, actually kind of does make sense. Okay, I'm gonna go to Granny McYakuza house and buy some repels. Kinder Buenos are really fucking good, though. They're like... usually where I shop, like 30 or 40 cents more expensive than a regular candy bar, so I can very rarely justify buying them. I mean, sure, I can justify spending $70 on a video game, but $2 or $2.50 on a candy bar? Too rich for my blood. So confused when I saw them being sold in a store here. Yeah, apparently they lifted that because the US just doesn't have regulations now. Just sell people parasite lettuce, it's fine. Won't somebody please think of the billionaires? Pokemon is different colors from usual. It's more valuable. What? You mean that's not true? There are hundreds of YouTubers you need to not tell that to. I do, however, have an amazing shiny Sneasler in my Pokemon Champions. God damn it. The few artifacts. There's more than a few. I've kept almost every Pokemon you've traded me, Maddie. Even in, like, X and Y and Omega Ruby and stuff. No. Oh, sorry. Okay. Let's scramble his guts a little bit. I checked home and the only Pokemon I have are the ZA starters they gave out as the promo. I'm surprised you didn't put more stuff in home. I mean, like, just for storage and moving between games kind of purposes. I know you only get one box if you don't have the paid version, but it's still 30 Pokemon you could move around. Besides, Maddie, I'm pretty sure you can trade with each other directly from home, so I could probably trade you some of your Pokemon. Thought about it, just being able to take them out and look at them. I understand. Also, random disclaimer on this stream, I may just go do something else if I get too bored, worn out with this whole Entei thing. I am not beholding myself to spending this whole stream chasing Entei. Any of the ones that suck the most to have lost, or like events in the OG team members, I understand. I love national parks so much. It's just like one of my favorite little video game areas to just exist in. I have a lot of criticisms of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but they did national parks so much justice in both the music and the design and environment. Because, dude, like, booting up like Heart Gold or Soul Silver and going to National Park, like, while the sun is setting, is just so comforting. Because honestly, I feel like just giving you places that are great places to go is one of the things that Game Freak does not get enough credit for, because they've been doing it since these games back on the Game Boy. But even in like Legend ZA or Scarlet or Violet or whatever, there are still places in those I just like to go and just sit down and enjoy being. especially in ZA, because you can just sit at the benches and throw all your Pokemon out there to hang around and do stuff. There are times where I just left the game on and just let everybody just relax and enjoy being there. Always cool to have video game areas that feel like home, like the Street Fighter 6 Battle Hub. Yeah. Pretty sure I said this before, but if they make a Legends Johto and it gets oh, I hope so. That would be so amazing. Because, like, I'm not in love with most of Diamond and Pearl's soundtracks, but a lot of the remixes and re-instrumentations they got in Legends Arceus are among some of my favorite Pokemon songs. Blah. Granted, I want a Legends Johto just in general because I love Johto, and I feel like it has a lot of unexplored lore potential. Like, I know everybody likes to theory craft about it being Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon or whatever, but I would love it if they had, like, new Pokemon that kind of, like, were the ones that ended up being the Pokemon that became Raikou, Entei, and Suicune after the Burn Tower thing. Okay, where are you now? Fuck. I apologize, I am sure you guys are so tired of seeing that screen. Okay, wait a minute. Eevee variant that had like 3 evolutions of the different kind of Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. And that is what the legendary beasts were. Maybe go nuts. That'd be cool. It'd even be like part dragon for extra special spice. Maybe. An Eevee, Convergent Evolution or whatever. It's just named Stevie, and the only difference between that and a regular Eevee is it can be controlled by the power of the Millennium Rod. And it also makes YouTube shorts with really snappy humor. Yeah, that's what they'll do. I saw it in the leak. See, I knew Farfetch'd would show it to you. Honestly, I really hope that regular Farfetch'd gets some kind of equivalent to Sirfetch'd. And, you know, like, the original Linoon gets, like, its own Obstagoon or something. Fairfetch. Because, I mean, like, the Space World Gold and Silver, well, I guess just Gold version, beta did have a Farfetch'd evolution that has like a Phantom Thief mask. Probably trying to invoke Zoro. Not from One Piece, but the like the original Zoro. Farfetch'd conversion evolution to the dog with a bone called Playfetched. Okay, that's you're actually cooking there. I would love that. Wait. Okay. The stars have aligned once more. Run it back. Don't miss with the hypnosis this time. Once again, our good friend Sal T. Runback. Okay, still here. Come on, Entei. Let's go, Entei! Don't. God fuck. See, Ben, you shouldn't have told him to get out. He ran. He listened to you. God damn it. At this point, I think we're stuck as a single-parent household. Bro, I'm a no-parent household right now. Damn. Not here. Hi, Dana. Mods? It's me, Dana. Right now I'm on Route 38. If you're close by, let's battle. I'll be waiting for you. See ya. Who's gonna show us how to toss a based ball or a rugged b-ball? Alright, everybody, grab your favorite sugar-free, caffeine-free beverage of choice and take a nice big sippy. I got my ice water right here. Oh, the ice melted, so I guess it's just water. Damn it, my water's all watered down. Moobot, what the fuck? I've got to learn how to VIP tag people. Or gotta block these overheads. What is Moobot's damage? Moobot's just trying to test your parry timing. It's like that thing where Sean just throws a bunch of basketballs at you. Over 9,000! You're really late. I'm eager to get going. Me too, Dana. Moobot hates circles, hates water. What's next? Okay, the thing is, both times it said spam, which is really weird because Ben's not really spamming chat at all. Probably hates lemons. Don't tell Mega Man. You know what hates circle and hates water? Well, it's a circle and has water, the Earth. Moobot is a global enemy. Hates me. No, man, I'm sorry. Moobot's just a mean old meanie face. Golduck with a tiny little foot shake. Top 10 anime betrayals. I see. So you battle that way. Next time a boy gives me something after a battle, I'll share some. Does that make me bad? We can be bad together, Dana. Oh wait, I didn't get the berries from here. I actually have a really fun ROM hack of this on my phone. It's not Crystal, it's actually Pokemon Gold, but they basically replaced all of the sprites for the male trainer character with the girl from Crystal, which is really fun. I don't really think they changed much of anything else about it. Other than that, it's just Pokemon Gold. But it's like, it kind of proves to me because, like, I'm pretty sure they've wanted a girl protagonist as an option since probably Red and Blue. Because, you know, like, Green was in, like, some of the manga and in a lot of the promotional art and stuff. And more than likely, it just always came down to storage space limitations on the original Game Boy. So Game Boy Color was probably the first time they could implement it, which is probably part of the reason Crystal's Game Boy Color only. Game Boy Color. It is weird to me how short the Game Boy Color's lifespan was. Though they kind of just rapid-fired a bunch of handhelds in a really short amount of time. It didn't feel like a short amount of time living at that time in the moment. But looking back, like, because it was... The original Game Boy was pretty much just the handheld. Not even just the Nintendo handheld. There was a while, at least in the US, where if you wanted a game on a handheld, Game Boy is pretty much it. You know, except for, like, Tiger Electronics and shit. But, like, Game Boy went from, like, 1989 to 1998. And it still got a few games into 1999 that were just Game Boy games. We don't talk about the Gamecom. Fun fact, I actually own a Gamecom and got it when it was relatively new. It was on clearance within 2 months of coming out. And I still have that Gamecom. Like my original one I got in like 99 or whatever. Because yeah, I've got Lights Out, Henry, and Sonic Jam on the Gamecom. But yeah, actually growing up, I had a Virtual Boy, a Gamecom, and a 32X because they all went on clearance so fast that it was really easy to convince my mom to buy them. And a lot of the games I got, like, at the time, brand new for, like, a couple bucks. Because that shit died so fast. Actually, my Gamecom copy of Sonic Jam I was given for free. Just somebody that I kind of half knew and occasionally played Yu-Gi-Oh! With at school. Just said, hey, you like Sonic, right? And just handed me a complete in-box copy of Sonic Jam on Gamecom. Whoa, 7? I love Celeste. Hi, Cole. Thank you for your 7 stream streak. How are you doing today on this lovely Tuesday evening? I am questioning my sanity trying to get this Entei. But yeah, like, Game Boy was pretty much it for almost 10 years. And then there was the Game Boy, because there was, like, some revisions, like the Game Boy Pocket and the Play It Loud colors and stuff like that. But it was mostly still, like, internally the same Game Boy. And then in, there was Game Boy Color in 98. Then the Game Boy Advance was in 2001, which was, like, 3 years later. And then the DS came out in 2004, which was 3 years after that. So under 7 years, they went from the Game Boy Color to the DS. And it's so weird, because at the time, you know, those felt like a universe apart from each other. But in retrospect, that all happened so fast. Game Boy Advance always gets me. I feel like its life was way too short. Playing Stardew Valley with friends. Oh, that's like that Temu Harvest Moon game, right? The Fields of Mystery a knockoff. No, I'm just kidding. I actually don't have anything against Stardew Valley. I just get really irritated when, like, I have had people unironically refer to the Story of Seasons game as Stardew Valley knockoffs. And I'm just like, ah! It's like, do one Google search. One tiny thinking with your brain. I don't know, like, this is probably just a side effect of being old. But, it kind of irritates me that, like, a lot of games that are the OGs that invented things are exponentially less well-known than the things that were inspired by them. You know, it's like, people will buy every Metroidvania in existence except Metroid and Castlevania. So it reminds me of that one post of someone like, oh, it's called Castlevania because it's a Metroidvania that takes place in a castle. And I'm like, aha! Also, I am kind of interested in the Fields of Mystery. I think it got its 1.0 recently. Okay, shit. Is Entei, like, right below where I'm standing? Am I doing a... Oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? Wait, no. So I'm there. Got back from putting stuff in the thing. Oh, good. My thing was out of stuff. Thank you, Maddie. Yeah, shit. Okay. Oh my god. How did you get all the way over there? High Rain playing Mega Bonk. Oh. He is using the Chaos Emerald Swarp. Homie's chaos controlling, about to make me lose control. Dads lock in when it matters the least. You know, being a neurodivergent person myself, I feel like a lot of the weird stereotypes about dads, you know, about them being disinterested in anything anybody's doing that doesn't involve their interests, about them being, like, weirdly, deeply emotional attached to something like their cars or something like that. I wonder how many of these things are not dad things. I wonder how many of these people are just really untreated autistic people. And I don't mean that in, like, a derogatory way. You know, I am of a very similar vein of neurodivergent, so... You know, I'm like, I don't think this is a dad thing or a man thing. I think this is a neurodivergent person that probably needs some combination of therapy and medication to help them function more normally. Someone with a very autistic dad, I'd be biased. But, like, I notice it in other people in the way they talk about their own, like, fathers and sometimes their mothers and stuff, too. You know, especially when, like, you know, these quotation marks normal people have, you know, persistently end up having neurodivergent children, and I'm like, I wonder how that keeps happening. And it's like, oh, hey, 7th is online playing Castlevania Dominus Collection, a very correct thing to be playing. Being nosy on everybody going live on Steam. A lot of people in current times are realizing that they're autistic and neurodivergent, and that shit's genetic, so it just always has to skip a generation for sure. Oh, absolutely. No, it's just social normativity does not combine well with a lot of the kind of stubbornness that comes with neurodivergence. Especially because, you know, people who are autistic tend to be... Well, saying this, you know, for me personally as well, I have a lot of trouble with this too, tend to really not want things to change, ever. You want the comfort and stability. How'd you get all the way over there? Oh my god. Okay, I really do not feel like doing this Entei chase anymore. Being autistic and ADHD, craving comfort and stability, but also craving change to avoid stagnation, has left me constant fight with myself to do one, parenthesis, one simple task. Yeah, again, it's like that one thing I posted on Blue Sky a few months ago. It's like the romantic tension between a neurodivergent person and a clean sock that's been on their bedroom floor for 6 weeks. My dad has like the quintessential type of autism that gets talked about the most. The only exception is he's definitely not nonverbal. No, fuck it. We're gonna shoot a trained fritter until she evolves into a Blissey. I'm done chasing hot fire volcano dad. I'm gonna go to Uncle Raiko's house because he lets me play his PS5. Someone who's autistic ADHD, understand to a degree but it's so difficult being with someone who needs things to be in a very strict way, dealing with a person who cannot change. Dad doesn't want to come home. He wants to continue making his milk and cigarette casserole. You and I are the same in the way that we have our own style that we won't change. But you're filled with evil and I'm not, so there is no way I can lose. That feel when you can't hold on much longer. You know, I should really make like a fucking bingo card or some shit for my streams, and me breaking into song at zero provocation should probably be one of the squares on there. Can't hold on much longer, I will never let go. Need to check on the stuff on the thing. Okie dokie, have fun. I'm going to make more obscure 90s game reference. Sonic Adventure is not an obscure game, Mikaya. Slap that spider. Making a Sonic reference is just the free space. Ha! Love me some niche references. You see, I need to play more of the Art of Fighting and SNK stuff. Because I actually have quite a few SNK fighters and stuff. I just haven't really dug into them much. That way I can get some of the Latin American audience. Because, fun fact, one of my neatest little fighting game pickups from a few years ago is I actually have the Super Nintendo cartridge for the original Art of Fighting. Say Dweebenheimer all day then, hooray! Finally want to get into Arcana Heart. Actually, I have Arcana Heart 3 Love Max on Steam. I think I have it installed. I need to double check though. But yeah, I get to play as a cool, awesome pink-haired girl and kick ass. Maximum love. I also would really like to try getting into Under Night. Okay, long ago, back when the pyramids were still young, PlayStation Network was actually a pretty good, or PlayStation Plus was actually a pretty decent deal. We're talking like back in the PlayStation 3 era, because you would, well, first of all, PS3 and Vita just had free online, but also with PlayStation Plus, you would get like access to 2 PS4 games, 2 PS3 games, and 2 Vita games. And 1 month, they actually had the first Under Night In-Birth on PlayStation 3 as one of the games, and I really did enjoy it a lot, and I have BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle on Switch, and I enjoyed that a lot too, so... I would like to try Under Night. It seems like a lot of fun. Also, interestingly, I need to play with it again some more to see if it still works, but I actually do have an original Xbox wireless fight stick. As in, like, for the OG 2001 Xbox. Because actually I have a few fighting games on Xbox. I've got Dead or Alive 1 through 3, and I actually have Guilty Gear XX Number Reload the Midnight Carnival. Because I think I also have Midnight Carnival on Steam as well. I don't know, there was this one thing, like, every time Guilty Gear or BlazBlue games go on sale for under $10, I just buy them on Steam. Oh, and I actually got Dragon Ball FighterZ for Xbox One recently. Because I got this really awesome deal on eBay that had Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. All three of them were Xbox One physical copies for $17.99 for all three of them, with no shipping. It's like, I already have Kakarot on PS4. Well, actually, I have Xenoverse 2 on PS4 also. But I wanted Xbox copies anyway, and I didn't have FighterZ at all, so... Because I would have paid like $20 for just Kakarot and DBZ FighterZ. Here in Under Night is Nanase. One thing I vividly remember is that Under Night In-Birth has a character called Naoto Kurogane, and, you know, Persona 4 has Naoto Shirogane, so they'll actually comment about that if you put them on the same team together. Also, I feel bad that I can't remember his name, but like the main character guy with the white hair with the big sword, who's usually the cover guy for Under Night, I really love his design. It is a very quintessential late 2000s anime hero guy design. And I mean that as a compliment. I love that kind of stuff. Hyde. Yeah, I know. I was thinking like Floyd or something like that, or Hyde, so yeah. Stuff in the thing has been checked on. I'm good. I'm glad your stuff in your thing are doing good, Maddie. But yeah, it also, like, man, I miss, you know, the default anime guy design being kind of tough and kind of handsome dude with, like, a wild, crazy hair color, and not the default anime guy design being, we have Kirito at home. It's like, I don't dislike Sword Art Online as much as a lot of other people do. It's not like a favorite or anything. But boy, it did so much damage to the freaking anime industry as far as, like, a lot of things. It's one of those things, like, I'm very critical about GTA in general, and I don't think the games are particularly good or enjoyable. But what I, like, okay, a game that's not for me or a game that sucks is something I can just overlook because I can just not engage with it. But my problem with Grand Theft Auto, more than anything, aside from just being kind of bad, is it has done irreparable damage to the game industry, and every game that comes out, all the bad business decisions that go along with every single one of them, does even more irreparable damage to the game industry. God damn it. Our fritter did not fret. Design an uninteresting looking protagonist in the game. You design an uninteresting looking protagonist in real life. Well, look fucking there. God damn it. I know Fritter's not going to be faster. Well, the thing is, I don't have my fucking Haunter up front, so I can't put him to sleep. Fritter's got Sing, but I know she's not fast. Entei, I never knew he was a weeb. Came crawling back. Fuck it, we throw a ball. Yeah, that's what I figured. Mom took everything in the divorce, he needs the money. Deltarune reference? Entei doesn't have a dying twinkish situationship that we know of. I'm trying to remember if they sell Ultra Balls here or not. Then again, I have so many freaking Kurt balls, I don't think I need to buy any more balls. Phrasing. What? I go to Kurt and he pounds out some balls for me. As one does. But you see, now that I said I'm not trying to get Entei, now he's showing up in places where I am. I get it. Oh well. I'm not gonna horse a mouth in the look gift. Who hasn't gone to some old man's house to hold his heavy balls in your hands? Exactly. Still want to do a Moonball team one day. How are you gonna find 6 Pokemon that evolve with a Burn Heal? Reverse psychology. Entei being very tsundere. Flaming tsundere, Dad. Please imagine that in the flaming Tumblr text. Hi, Dana. Mods? It's me, Dana. Right now I'm on Route 38. If you're close by, let's battle. I'll be waiting for you. I'll be there in a minute, Dana. Will do, boss. This is place. This is the place I'm standing, right? That's why I said one day, gotta get made first. Okay, we're in. We are in the dad. Finally. God damn it. Come on, you get in that ball. You get in that ball right now, mister. Let's fucking go! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. We got it. We got it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just let me, How goes the Entei hunt? It's finally fucking over. Just in time. Thanks for stream. Well, I'm not ending the stream yet. Brawny Pokemon. Sorry, I had to have my victory theme moment. But how are you doing today, 7th, on this lovely Tuesday evening? Playing some Castlevania Dominus Collection. Brawny Pokemon courses around the Earth, spouting flames hotter than a volcano's magma. Yo, look at his height. He's 6'7". Yeah, we just needed some fanfare. 437 pounds. Dad is thick. 7th, I'm streaming from my PC. I got a Steam notification that you're online. Because yeah, I unfortunately do not have a OSSC or a FrameMeister or anything, so I'm just playing Crystal on the computer. Courses around the Earth, yeah, we know. Okay, I'm gonna give him a nickname later. Right now I'm going to save. So no matter what happens from here on out, I never have to do that again. I got logged onto your Steam Deck, it's all good. Hey, trust me, it's funny because it popped up earlier before you got here, or you might have been just listening through, like, the thing without commenting yet, but... it's like, it popped up like, oh, hey, 7th is playing Castlevania Dominus Collection, which is the very obviously correct thing to be playing. Nice save, they'll never know about the mice in the walls reporting back to you. So I think the name rater's in Goldenrod, right? Just started watching? Okay. Because I know, like, a lot of the homies will, like, listen to the stream for a while before they, like, say anything in chat, which is totally cool. I love all my lurkers. And even if you're a regular chatter, if you just want to lurk one day, I totally get it, and I love that. Thank you so much for hanging out either way. Because trust me, I very much know what it's like to have your social battery just be on empty. And, like, you want to be there for the homies, but you also, do not want to interact with any humans. Just, hey, trust me, when the social battery's down, when you're neurodivergent, even people you love being around, it can be exhausting just to exist. Also, you know, interesting random thing, like, I suddenly had the hot spur to play some Symphony of the Night after watching the Boy Meets Girl video, where, like, you know, the girlfriend played, Symphony of the Night for the first time. Oh my gosh, Moobot, leave Ben alone! God damn! I may be dead exhausted, but my body is here to support. And I appreciate that about everybody who shows up. But yeah, I also, 7th, for some reason, Moobot has had Ben in its fucking sight for his sniper rifle. How many unblockables do I gotta hold tonight? Jeez. Excessive amounts of periods. Really? Most people only have one a month. Hates circles, hates water, hates gold. Hates greetings. I'm gonna take a sippy of my water real quick. Never say hello to a golden ball underwater or you die instantly. I think considering the numerous periods of spam because it's the same character over and over, that's probably what it is. That seems way too strict, though. And that basically, you know, means that nobody over the age of 55 can use Twitch. You know, I wasn't actually expecting to successfully catch Entei on this stream. Now I don't know what to do. Vibe, I guess? But hates menstruation too, then. It's not like anybody does it on purpose. And now Mellow Cream can finally retire. The fish all in bags at the end of Finding Nemo. Now what? Fight red, duh. Let's go get Entei a nickname. Your playground, Goldenrod Game Corner. Ah, there's the name raider. Okay, so like with Suicune and Raikou, they have like soda names because Suicune's is like Pepsi and Raikou's is RC Cola, but like KOU. So I'm trying to think of a good soda-related pun for Entei. Do Entei. You know what? I like it. Because, you know, he's red, so he could be Code Red, right? Entei from the Devil May Cry series. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do our daily battle with Cal over in Viridian City. Yeah, it works. He uses fire, so he can be a Baja Blast as well. See? It's all coming together. Baja Fire Blast. Everybody, let's hop up and down on the magnet train. Hopping up and down on the magnet train. Eruption for when he gets shaken before opening. Oh yeah, I forgot we did name our Lugia Baja Blast. We can have two of the same soda brands here, right? Well, no, the thing is, like, Baja Blast is a completely different soda. It's actually made from liquid Taco Bell. Come on, stay focused. Focus, Em. Let's go ahead and get Taki. Welcome to our training hall. You may battle a trainer once per day. Cal is your opponent today. Would you like to battle? Yes. Traveled out here just so I could battle you. I'm sure most of the people in chat already know this, and I think I've mentioned it before, but since you could use the infrared thing on the Game Boy Color to mystery gift with people, this battle against Cal, this is just the default one if you've never mystery gifted before, but it would actually have the Pokemon team of the last person you mystery gifted with. Like whatever they had on their team at the time. So you could battle basically your friend's Pokemon by proxy, and it was really neat. Cal's been more of a constant in life than our dad's been. Typhlosion looks just really cool in Crystal in particular. Because it is interesting to me thinking about it, like... Typhlosion's doing the T-pose. Not exactly. He's kind of more stanced up. Got a little bit of aura thing going on. But, I know on, like, a modern screen, it can be a little bit eye-searing with the, stark white background. But this was actually brilliant because Pokemon's made for a non-backlit display. Because, you know, they didn't have backlights on Game Boys until the Game Boy Advance SP in 2003. So it's crazy to think about, but Diamond and Pearl were really the first Pokemon games that were released on a device that was guaranteed to have a backlight. Because sure, like, Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Emerald came out after the SP, but they can still be played on a original model GBA. So you still have to take into account that some people may not have wanted to plunk down the money to upgrade. Then there is still a lot of merit to the original GBA, I feel, even without the backlight. I do really like its form factor. And while it was definitely a downside at the time, nowadays having something with batteries that you can just pop out and don't have to worry about, you know, like getting replacement batteries for a rechargeable, you know, 25 years later is actually a nice little thing. I lost, darn. And yes, Typhlosion feels like it would be a very good Pokemon to cuddle up with. Oh yeah, Dana wanted to battle. Let's go ahead and head back there and battle her. I have my OG modded GBA. I mean, I would love to get a modded GBA like that, honestly. I really would like to get one similar to the one you have. I took my SP with me to work. Clamshell fits easier in the pocket. Yeah. But no, I'd like to get a modded GBA similar to yours, 7th. I also really want a modded Game Gear that has, like, AV out. Because I've mentioned this a few times on stream before, but, like, you know, if you get, like, a good LCD panel, like, naturally, like, modern LCD panel backlight mod for a Game Gear, the battery life goes from, like, about 3 hours to over 15. Hopping up and down on the magnet train. The very same Game Gear mod. That, and I guess you get a fun little bit of me lore. The first video game system I ever bought with my own money was a blue Game Gear that came with the Lion King video game. And so the Game Gear means a lot to me. I didn't really play it a lot. I had like I had Lion King, but I mostly just played Sonic games on it. Because like I had already had like, well, there's my mom's NES. And she bought me the Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis, which I wasn't spoiled, and my mom was not wealthy. I just didn't have any other hobbies. I was like all in on video games from like frame one. It's given to me the friend, what's the blue one that came with the Lion King? I feel like that Game Gear is really common, actually. Because it's easy to forget now, but the Lion King was like... Okay. You guys are going to get a free video game fact because I love this fact. The Lion King video game, even though it's just got a reputation for being like a hard old platformer nowadays, when it originally came out, The Lion King was like a big AAA platformer. Or like, you know, and at the time, whatever AAA, like, it had that kind of pomp and circumstance around it. And that Lion King game is directly responsible for creating the Xbox platform. No escape from the pillars of gateway furry fandoms. I mean, have you seen the way Nyla lays down in that one scene in Lion King? I mean, come on, they knew what they were doing. But you see, the thing is, the Lion King, to get more like PC, like personal computer sales, because it wasn't really as common to just have a PC in your house in the 90s as it is now. Especially when like computers with internet access were available in libraries both in and out of schools, basically as soon as that was available. So for a lot of people, the internet wasn't an essential part of your life. So if you want to do online shopping, go look up something, just go to the library. Take off for the night, got work in the morning. Good night, Rain. Thank you so much for dropping by and hanging out. Everybody say thank you to Mufasa for giving us Halo. Mufasa. Ooh. But, yeah. They shipped a lot of PCs with the PC version of that Lion King game as like an incentive bundle. Some of the PCs that they shipped that game with would not run the game. And this created a lot of backlash, a lot of people trying to get refunds, a lot of customer complaints. So this actually is what spurred the creation of the DirectX standard as a standard for like Windows PCs. So DirectX was basically created in response to this whole kerfuffle with the Lion King's PC version. And then the existence of DirectX eventually led to Microsoft wanting to get in the console business. because Xbox got its name because the whole concept behind a Microsoft console was to create a DirectX box. Because the original 2001 Xbox is actually cobbled together from more or less high-end, off-the-shelf PC parts from 2000. I'm going to go battle... I can't remember her name right now. Dana. Battle Dana. That's what we're doing. We're going to go battle Dana. Rare fun fact. That's zero idea about... Well, I mean, again... Xbox is a section that most game... is a section of the game universe that most video game enthusiasts care nothing about. So... Xbox fun facts tend to be fun facts that people do not know much. It's not just U7th. Like I've mentioned before in one of my old hot takes, Xbox is pretty unfairly branded as the dude bro gun and ball console. Did Rain do a hot take this stream? No, actually. I think we were all too wrapped up in the Entei drama. We got hot dads instead of hot takes. I shouldn't have said anything. Too wrapped up in Moobot being doing a touch of death on you. Got the ground bounce and everything. Would have done it anyway, fair enough. I knew what you meant, Ben. We all got that Todd in us. Go for some spicy takeout. Okay, here, my spicy hot take for today. I think the Sonic the Hedgehog 4 games have actually gotten a little bit better with age from being removed from their historical context. Because at the time, the first Sonic 4 especially was considered a huge disappointment. The second Sonic 4 was, well, mostly people just didn't care because they were so burned by the first one. Which sucks because Sonic 4 Episode 2 is actually an explosively good glow-up. Like, it is such a much better game than the original, but I still think the original one's decent if you look at it for what it actually is, which is a fun, short little throwback to the Genesis games at a time when that wasn't really done that often. Yeah, Episode 2 also got overshadowed by Generations, but I think in general people were just really disappointed with the first one and nobody cared about Episode 2. Which, the thing is, the naming scheme didn't help. Being called Sonic 4 Episode 2 makes it sound like it's just 4 more zones of the same thing. Hey, at least Episode Metal was free if you owned both games. But yeah, just like 4 stages of Metal Sonic who plays exactly like regular Sonic. Which, like, playable Metal Sonic's cool, but even that wasn't that new in 2010 or 12. I think it was 2010, 2011. Because you could already do that in, like, Sonic Adventure. Well, just, yeah, you play Episode 1 backwards, and then, if I recall correctly, I think you only play 1 act of each zone. But yeah, like, Episode 2 is actually a really fun game. Because it does a lot of stuff no other 2D Sonic does, and I absolutely freaking adore doing all the cool combo moves as Sonic and Tails.
Like, it's so well implemented, and it adds just a little bit of puzzle to the classic Sonic formula. You know, it's just like, it's so fun. Also, weirdly enough, Sonic 4 Episode 1 kind of became a little bit of a comfort game for me for a while, because it was one of my first Xbox 360 games. And, you know, when you get a new console, you get all excited. So you want to play the new console. So a lot of times when I was too tired and I didn't feel like playing any Xbox 360 games that would actually require, like, focus and concentration. Because for a while, I think all I had was, like, Blue Dragon and Final Fantasy 13. And, like, maybe 1 or 2 games my mom bought. And so a lot of times I'd boot it up and I'd just play, like, Hexic or Sonic 4 Episode 1 just to play some 360. Getting 100% trophy completion on Episode 1 is my greatest gaming shame. You shouldn't be ashamed of it. Episode 1's still a good game. Like I said, it's good. It's nowhere near in the same caliber as the Genesis games or Rush or Advance, but taken completely on its own, it's a fun game. It's a fun little 2D platformer. But it's like, that's why I was saying, like, it's still a good game. You just have to remove it from the historical context. Because in a world where Mania and Superstars exist, just letting Sonic 4 Episode 1 just be what it is, it's a good little game. It's a fun little game. You know, and yeah. And also, like, it's a fun trophy collection. I have it on 360. I don't have a PS3 version. Though I might buy that before the PS3 store closes down just to have it. Yeah, I actually have all of the achievements, which I'm pretty sure are the same as the trophy list. I think the only one I don't have is the one for doing the final boss run without taking any damage. And yeah, I do agree that for Sonic 4 Episode 2 really does feel like a refined take on the partner system. Like I said, it's one of those things I may go back and do one day because, like I said, Sonic 4 Episode 1 is kind of a comfort game for me. I'm not saying it's a great game. Getting more retro games from other companies like Sega on NSO would be rad. I really want there to be a TurboGrafx 16 NSO, like, so badly. Bro, you know how much I really wish I could just fire up my Switch and play fucking Blazing Lasers? Said Sonic, I meant Sonic. What, like the fast food company? Oh yeah, they really need to re-release Starbucks for GameCube and the GBA Nutty Professor game. I'm sorry, Ben. I forget you're just not familiar with me and Maddie's sense of humor that much, but no, we're just like this. Don't try to make sense of it. We're just like this. Wouldn't have it any other way. Pangola's so freaking cute. I'm gonna, like, reverse import Tangrowth into this game because I want Tangrowth. Try to make sense you get arrested because that's counterfeit. Oh, yeah? Well, I mean, if the government's not producing pennies anymore and I want to make my own pennies, that's perfectly fine. It's not stealing if you're taking something that doesn't exist. It's like in Kingdom Hearts 2 where they stole your... Produce pennies together later? Of course. Unfortunately, they had to change the Spider-Man character's name to Nickel Parker because pennies don't exist anymore. Wow. Got to. Glad I can provide some laughs. Try to pay with pennies. Abraham himself comes and beats you to death with his fists. Honestly, that sounds like something that would happen in Wade Hickston's Counterpunch for the Game Boy Advance. You see, it sounds like I'm making that game up, but I'm not. It's also one of the most visually gorgeous games on GBA. Like, the sprite work is insane. I'll count your punch. Good, I didn't know how many bottles of Hawaiian Punch I had in the fridge. I really lost track. It's a game I haven't thought about in a long-ass time. A clean 0. When AK-47 has some blows Batman away with a rat-a-tat-tat. You know, I should actually legally obtain Wade Hickston's Counterpunch on my phone sometime. I haven't actually played it aside from like maybe once, just trying it out. Of course, what else would he do? How else do you think he became president? Guys, give me just a sec. Since the storm's pretty much gone, I'm gonna open my window back up so my fan can blow some cool breeze on me. Just a sec. Okay, I have returned with a nice cool breeze on me. Might want to run away and Optimus Prime will arrive to save the day.
Also, you ever do like a weird random thing and it just sticks like that? It just like becomes how things normally look, because I was like cleaning up one of my shelves that I have my amiibo displayed on, and I put most of my amiibos, like, because I took them all down, took them over to the sink, cleaned them up, because they had gotten all dusty and stuff. And I put most of them back on the shelf. I put some of them in some different spots. But for whatever reason, I left my Chic amiibo on top of my PS1. And now she's been there for like a month. And now she's just like chilling on the PS1. Where she is now. This PS1 is mine now. It's me, Chic Amiibo, on the Sony PlayStation 1. You know, I always feel a little bad that my childhood, like, original model PlayStation doesn't read discs very well anymore. But that's probably just from the fact that, like, I have played that thing for, like, thousands and thousands of hours. Like, I had at least 7 or 8 100-hour playthroughs of Final Fantasy Tactics, several playthroughs of Final Fantasy VII, God knows how many times playing through Mega Man 8 and Mega Man X4. It is carved out of stone, after all. Yeah, that's the thing, because, like, if you ever see it typed out PS1, it's actually a typo. There's supposed to be a T. It's P-Stone.
Hey, Mots, good evening. It's me, Gavin. How you doing? Let's battle. Be waiting on Route 26. Can you shout out when you're close? Alright, I'll talk to you soon. Shit, I gotta finish that Mega Man 8 playthrough. Ow, 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 ow!
So anyway, Dot came in here, tried to jump on my leg, immediately fell. So now I have long claw marks down my leg. Very cool and sexy. Oh, that's just Dot, the criminal. She's a cat who just sneaks into my house. It's a long story. She usually comes in when she wants me to put food out. Hit the streamer, kitty, please. Oh, trust me, she stays in the house usually during fall and winter. Like, she's litter trained and everything. She's very sweet. The fact that she is so nice is, okay, for context, I live on top of a hill and my drive-through is very, very long, and she never goes past my house, so she's not in any danger of being outside. She doesn't go into the road or anything. But she likes to be an indoor-outdoor cat, and usually in the summer she likes to just stay outside for most of the day. But she probably wants me to put food out there for everybody. And yes, 7th, I do want to see the rest of the Mega Man 8 playthrough, because Mega Man 8 freaking rules. It's like, I do plan on streaming Mega Man 3 sometime very soon to finally finish it, but I have been very tempted to just jump straight to 7 and 8 because I love those games so much. Like, I like the NES games a lot, don't get me wrong, but like 4, 7, and 8, especially 7 and 8, are definitely my favorite in the classic series. I really like 11 a lot too, though. Though I haven't played it anywhere near as much, just because, you know, that game's like 8 years old instead of 20-something, 30-something years old.
shit, Mega Man 1's gonna be 40 next year. Holy shit. Mega Man is old. It's weird because Mega Man doesn't feel as old now as he did in the 2000s. Wait. I've been waiting for you. This time, I'm gonna win. Cool, Chain of Gaven. I love clicking psychic. You know what? Dot has to be petted because she's a bite. Ah, life is even tougher. That's how they just made a win button move, right? Well, I mean, it's specific to my Espeon because he is very cool and attractive. I guess I'm sorry for taking so many breaks this stream, but I'm gonna go feed this furball and put some food out for all of her brothers and sisters and stuff. Oh wait, shit, I'm technically in Kanto. I can't play the Lucky Channel, no! Okay, you guys are getting Let's All Sing. Be back in a new...
I return again. Sorry, that wasn't very lucky. Welcome back. Thank you, Maddie. Actually, you know, I wonder, and Seventh might know this, but I wonder if there's like an emulator thing on for like Stadium 2 where I could use my like this Crystal version save data on like an N64 emulator or something to play Stadium 2. Because that's something I think would be a really fun stream. Like, a part of me has thought about streaming the Stadium 1 and 2 on NSO and just seeing what we could accomplish with rentals, but, like, I feel like it would be more fun to use the team that, like, we worked so hard on here. Project 64 lets you do that. I will look into that. Because it's like, I'd rather not use emulators for games I can just play on something with an HDMI connectivity. Because like with this Crystal version, well, there really isn't a way to play a Gen 1 or 2 Pokemon game on any official hardware right now. Transfer Pack plugin, interesting. Okay, I'll probably look and see if I can figure out how to set all that up. So I'm not guaranteeing that'd be any time in the near future, but I'd like to mess with it at least. Because the thing is, like, the post-game for the Gen 1 and Gen 2 games really is the Stadium games. Because as much as I wish there could have been Stadium games for every subsequent generation, from, like, from, like, Emerald onward, they really just shoved all the Pokemon Stadium stuff into the main game without having to buy a separate console and all that stuff. It's interesting because the Stadium games, from what I recall, like, dramatically increased Nintendo 64 sales. Because I remember there was a bundle where it was an N64 that would come with Pokemon Stadium 1, the Transfer Pack, and a exclusive promo Cool Porygon. Literally called Cool Porygon. And the great thing about Cool Porygon is even in Japan, this promo card was called Cool Porygon with like the English word cool. Hell yeah, Cool Porygon. Literally called Cool Porygon. I love it so much. I do not have the Cool Porygon because I already had a Nintendo 64 and Pokemon Stadium by the time this bundle was released. Like, this Porygon's cool as fuck. I don't want to look up the card because just picturing Porygon shredding it in a half pipe, and I can't ruin that fantasy. Honestly, hold on to that, Maddie. It still reminds you of that one picture of a bird sitting on an electrical pole with like the blurred background and the sparks coming off from beside its feet. An electrical line. It's like, damn, this bird's cool as fuck. It's like few things in the world will ever be as cool as the vibe that the Sega Dreamcast captured from 1999 to 2001. Because it's like one of the... It like took everything cool about the 90s and everything cool about like pre 9/11 like early 2000 culture, and it was just like the zenith of that, like right before becoming being genuine and authentic started to be considered cringe. Which, like, it fucking sucks that it took, like, 20 years for us to finally get over that phase. But then again, I guess it took a whole generation of people growing up with, like, the stale, boring, disinterested world around them. Would have been, like, to be able to be conscious and participate. Maddie, you would have fucking loved it. Like, that's one of the things with, like, time machines and stuff. If I could, I would just take you back to hang out in, like, 1999, 2000, and 2001 together. And just, like, exist and be together. Go back in time and we can just be siblings and stuff, and I'll be, like, 12 or 13, and you'll be 8 years old, and we'll have the most fucking awesome time imaginable. We'll play Mario Kart 64 on our Nintendo 64s, and Diddy Kong Racing and Super Smash Brothers. And shred in a half pipe with our main genderless man, Pool Porygon. Exactly. Skateboarding was one of those things I wish I could have gotten into because I've always felt it was cool. But then again, I've also seen the kind of permanent injuries people I knew got from skateboarding, so I'm like, you know, maybe it isn't too bad that I didn't get into that. Then again, I don't know, they probably just weren't careful enough because, like, yo, Tony Hawk's still doing this shit, and I think he's, like, almost 60. Like, mad respect for him. Though it is funny that nobody seems to recognize him. Because I still remember that one tweet where he's, like, you know, going through, like, TSA for a flight or something, and it's like, and the the person who looks at your passport and stamps everything's like, oh, Tony Hawk, yeah, like the skater. He's like, yeah. Oh, I wonder what he's up to these days. Literally this. Cool Porygon evolves into Porygon Z, but the Z is the cool S. Honestly, Maddie, you're kind of cooking again, TBH. Do deeply appreciate that. I feel like the two universal non-binary fits are either like a hoodie and a beanie with like either loose sweatpants or jeans, or they are like skateboard wear. You know, like loose t-shirt, usually like loose fitting pants. The image of a yearbook, it's like Phil and the cooler Phil. Either that or a forest fae disguised as human. Also, shout out to all of the Arrow Ace non-binary homies who just saw literally everything related to gender and sex and just like, nah bro, I'm tapping out. Ain't doing that shit. Not gonna participate. Isn't mutually exclusive to Hoodie Beanie, but you know what I mean. Yeah. I'm bi and non-binary, so I'm like a gender vampire. Fuck all genders, but also fuck all gender. That's crude. I'm sorry, I've never made one singular sex joke ever. I apologize. Expect my apology video with me playing a ukulele between 3 and 5 business days. Actually, I got that reference and I hate that. Sorry. I think I will go ahead and get the whole squad up to level 67, and then we'll call it there. I'm kind of stalling the stream. Hopefully LD will show up, but probably not. Okay, Jin Alpha. Alpha by name, Alpha by nature. Hey, listen, just because I eat hot chips and charge my phone does not mean I'm lying. Are we just gonna forget all the times that spherical objects have been referenced in the entire stream? It's spherical! You know, it is really funny to me how, like, there was this weird idea in the 90s and 2000s that, like, everything futuristic would be like a sphere shape. Because, like, I think that... Gosh, I don't remember if it was Zach and Cody or Drake and Josh, but I know, like, one of them had the, it might have been... Shit, I'm like 5 years too old for this. I don't know all my Disney Channel / Nickelodeon shows. But you know, like, they had the It's Spherical thing. But then, like, South Park also had the Game Sphere. It was Drake and Josh, okay. You know, I should probably actually sit down and watch the show, because every meme I've seen in relation to it, I have found actually really funny. Like, I know it's an overdone bit, but the, yeah, the PlayStation commercial with the PlayStation 9, which was also a ball. But no, the whole bit with where they're in the shed and they're like, you know, just go get the power saw. It's like, where is it? It's outside. You know, that whole bit, that's like just actually really good comedy to me. Someone also did a version of that for Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which was also really good. Twinkykins, they became making every tech named after a fruit. Well, yeah, that's because that one was easy. They were parodying Apple. Got some of that fruity girl arrow. Uh-oh. 200 attack. Look, Taki's strong. Powerful. Big, powerful doggo. Ice beam. One of the hardest things for me with ZA was getting out of my tendency to just always use Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, and Ice Beam and Earthquake for everything in every situation. Because like with ZA, you actually have to take into account like positioning, range, spread damage. You know, it's like... So a lot of moves that you don't really use a lot in the main game or don't really have much competitive usage were actually like really good in ZA just because it plays differently. And even having like similar moves of the same or different moves of the same type that are similar in the main games. But it's like it can still be practical to have them in ZA because like something like Ice Beam and Blizzard will hit completely different ranges, so they actually have different universes. Come on. Utilities. You know, depending on the situation. In the early 2010s, companies saw tech and thought, that was a featureless monochrome block. We don't have time to protest because we're still reeling from 2008. Yes. Ice Beam and Blizzard are in completely different universes. One's from from Earth 420, the other one's from Earth 069. Pokemon Multiverses confirmed! That's what Mega Dimension was for. We could finally use Blizzard. Oh, that's why it had all those bottles in the ice. Amazing that nobody managed to get Slizzard until 2025. I mean, to be fair, Ben, I would absolutely play a Pokemon Super Smash Bros. Clone. It was like just Pokemon, so... I guess you guys can have a tiny sub-hot take. Still working on getting Slizzard. Rip Pokken. Well, no, I was actually gonna say, like, I think Pokken is really cool, but, okay. In Germany, the game actually has its name changed to Pokemon Tekken. Because a lot of people don't know that Pokken Tournament is a crossover between Pokemon and Tekken. Like, there are even some moves lifted directly from Tekken for some of the character movesets. No, in Germany it's just called Pokemon Tekken. And I think that is an exponentially better name. Also, Pokken is the German word for smallpox. So it's understandable why they didn't want to call it Pokken Tournament over there. But, yeah, generally, I get what they're going for. But I have heard people who don't know what Tekken is call it Pokemon Tournament numerous times. Because it is shocking to me how many people just don't read something. Digimon Rumble style Pokemon game would be neat. That would be really fun. It's Tekken straight from that other game. All the Pokemon are fighting to raise money to cure smallpox. It's fine. I do remember, like, one of my favorite, like, screenshot captions was from Pokemon Tournament, and it was Blaziken fighting Chandelure. And the one of the arenas is just, like, in the middle of a city street, but there are still, like, traffic and cars going on outside of the battle area. But it's like, you know, like a lot of Pokemon stuff, it's got, like, the holographic arena around there, like the holographic arena borders and stuff. And, it's like, you know, imagine you get to work and your boss asks you why it's late, and because there was a 5-foot-tall chicken fighting a chandelier in the middle of the road. But granted, I'm pretty sure if you live in the Pokemon world, when you explain that to your boss, you're like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Fair excuse. I've used that one before. No, I do actually love that Pokemon Tournament. You know, it has some ones you'd expect, like Machamp and Blaziken and Lucario and stuff. But I actually do love that they went for some characters that had really unorthodox builds for a fighting game character. Like Chandelure, Suicune is another one that's in there. And it's like, I feel like they chose the Pokemon. I'm sure some of them, like Pikachu, Lucario, and Charizard, were chosen based on popularity. But I feel like a lot of the Pokemon the developers chose because they had a vision for how that Pokemon would play as a fighting game character. And I always love when fighting games do character selection based on that. Because I think that's another reason I have a lot of love for, like when Marvel vs. Capcom or something will pull in a character like Marrow. But then again, like, Marrow has gorgeusly animated and a really cool moveset. Granted, I know she's not very good competitively, but, like, you know, it's like, they pulled in Marrow because that's a character they had a vision for as a fighting game character. Even though, like, a lot of people, myself included, did not even know who Marrow was until playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And I did not even know anything about Marrow's backstory or anything until a very cool and attractive person with a very calming voice did a video on it. Wonder who they would have picked for Gen 8 and 9 reps if they kept it going. Tinkaton would have been cool, yeah. I feel like Tinkaton would have been a pretty good shoe-in. Even back in Marvel 3, not many people knew Nova or Rocket were. I always forget that Rocket was in Ultimate Marvel 3 before the Guardians of the Galaxy movie came out. You see, to me, like, Ultimate Marvel 3 link to said video sounds neat. Well, I mean, the person who made it's pretty cool, so you probably already heard of them. So we can see who they'd pick going off Unite. Yeah, I could have definitely also seen, like, Zorua. Not Zorua. Zeraora. Would have been a pretty good shoe-in for Pokemon Tournament. Forgot about Unite until right... I always forget Unite exists until Sarah B posts something about it, getting, like, another $50 costume or some shit. I really tried really hard to enjoy playing Unite, and I just did not. That gameplay style is not for me. Because, you know, I'm way too, like, action game pilled. Because my biggest complaint about Unite is just that, like, you know, well, this is a top-down game with action in it, but the other Pokemon can just hit me. Why can't I block? Why is there no dodge button? And I remember talking to Kubi about it, and, you know, Kubi's just like, Micaiah, MOBAs don't play that way. And I'm like, huh? Because I guess for me, when I think of a competitive game with action, I'm thinking about fighting games, which are all about, you know, blocking and defense and dodging and all that stuff. 200 hours, you guys. Let's freaking go. I don't really like battling in any game, so it was immediate nope from me. Understandable. Only thing I care about is the renders of Pokemon in funny clothes. Honestly, I just wish you could get those outfits in regular Pokemon games and not have to deal with the microtransactions and all that stuff. I really do actually appreciate Mario Kart World adding in outfits for your characters where you can, like, customize. Because, like, that was one of the big things in Mario Kart Tour, because me and Kubi actually talked about it a lot. How much we just wished in, like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or something you could dress up your characters like you can in Tour. And they actually added that in Mario Kart World with no microtransactions or anything. So... And I actually need to pick up Mario Kart World sometime, but I'm just waiting for it to be under $60. Because I'm not gonna... The only game I will probably ever pay $80 for... maybe a new Final Fantasy. And maybe a new Xenoblade. But then again, I'm probably going to be pre-ordering that shit. So if they keep doing the $10 off if you pre-order it, I'll probably have it pre-ordered. So I will very much likely not end up paying $80 for Xenoblade. But I don't know if Nintendo would charge that much, because, like, the only $80 game they've done so far, I think, besides Mario Kart World, is the upcoming Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave. I wish more characters had more outfits in that game. Dry Bones is perfect, like, imagine him in a tiny little hat. It's true. The Dry Bones fandom is dying. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're a true Dry Boner. Day of Dead, Dry Bones. Oh, that would be perfect. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Of course, I also played Dry Bones a lot in Mario Kart DS. It's just he's a quirky little dead guy. I love him. Even a Day of the Dead Dry Bones course, like, right? But then again, they can always add in more outfits later. It can get updates and stuff. No, it's impossible. Damn it! Well, we tried, folks. It was a good run. Mission failed. We'll get him next time. You know, it really fucks me up. For the longest time, the only Metal Gear games available on modern consoles were Metal Gear Solid 5. I am very interested, because Metal Gear Solid 4, with the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, is going to get a... it's going to be on Switch 2, PS5, and Xbox Series, and PC. So I am very interested what they're going to do with all of the dialogue in there that specifically mentions the game being on PlayStation 3. Because, like, by Metal Gear Solid 4, Kojima, like, just barely gave a fuck about the fourth wall. Like, Rumble is back! Because I realized that most people's, like, defining Metal Gear experience is just Metal Gear Solid 5 and nothing else. And that's, like, the least Metal Gear of any Metal Gear game. Hello again, Gavin. Battling again, alright. Revengeance. Revengeance is more Metal Gear than Metal Gear Solid 5 is to me. But then again, Revengeance is also my favorite in the series by, like, a wide margin, so... Standing here, I'm standing here, I'm standing here, I am standing here. I'm still standing here, standing. It's funny that I started making that joke without knowing that it was a meme video also. To the point where everybody just assumed I was referencing the meme. Ah yes, famous Ace Attorney witness Stan Dang. What a thrill. Random fact, Metal Gear Solid 3 was like one of my mom's like top 5 games of all time. Like way up there. She loved Metal Gear Solid. Like she liked the like 1 and 2 and stuff a good bit. And she was kind of mixed on 4, but she loved like Metal Gear Solid 3 so much. Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source? My source is I made it the fuck up. Nano machine, son. Metal Gear 4 episode Sonic was kinda dog. Maddie, you're so silly. They would never put Metal Gear Solid and Sonic the Hedgehog in the same video game. But if they did, oh brother, would that be a smash hit? It'd be an all-out brawl. Fuck, you got me. Be the ultimate crossover. Yeah, it'd be like everyone was there. Yeah, you'll get me this time, Gavin, for sure. I may have beat your ass 20 minutes ago, but now it's like that 20 minutes of training arc you had. It'll make people wah. Think you cooked Kea. See, he didn't expect my super secret legendary technique of clicking body slam. It's been passed down the squeaker line for generations. specifically 1 because this is only Generation 2. See, I mixed it up on him. I clicked Razor Leaf that time. Dot. Dot, what are you doing? She'll headbutt my microphone and hit the little touch-sensitive thing to mute it. Sorry, I was looking away. I'm just gonna assume Gaben won. Kitty. Yep. It's Kitty. No, Dot is known far and wide by my chat as the criminal because, I've explained this before, but my landlord redid the floor in my kitchen because it got water damage for a bunch of stupid bullshit that happened during a hurricane in 2018. So he redid my floor, which is great. But when the floor was set in, it wasn't sized exactly properly. So there's a gap in the closet in the kitchen that goes under the house. It's such a small gap that most things cannot get through it, so it's not an issue. And I usually just set some stuff on it. But specifically Dot can fit through, so she can just get into the house anytime she wants to. One time I set a huge cinder block over it, and she somehow pushed the block aside and got in anyway, and I'm like, okay, sure. So yeah, she just likes to break and enter into my house. And usually does that to get snuggles and food. But again, she's litter trained. She atomized and materialized into your house. And yeah, it's like that Ernest Saves Christmas where she just like oozes through the vent covers. I have managed to subdue her by giving her lots of pets and scratchies and snuggles. I mean, there could always be a second way in. I hope not. Because I really don't want to think about opossums and other various animals trying to get to my house. So see, that's the thing they don't tell you about living out in the middle of nowhere is just any random animal will find you. I just want to snuggle. I actually like possums, just not in my house. I mean, I have legitimately chased a possum out of my house with a broom, which is probably the most Southern woman thing I have ever done in my life. I did not hurt the possum. I just kind of like brushed against it with a broom and pointed it at it menacingly until it ran away. Could have fed them cornbread and gravy. I cannot stand gravy. I do like cornbread, though. But then again, if it's bread, I'm probably going to like it. I love getting bread. But yeah, Dot has an insatiable need for snuggles. That's why you feed the opossum. Of course, why didn't I think of that? But I am going to go ahead and call it here for tonight. Thank you so much for coming by, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I can't believe we did it. We actually caught Entei. But you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday night. I will hopefully be back on Thursday. I hope I don't get any more weird sinus headaches. I feel bad that for the last 2 weeks I've only streamed one day. But I'll hopefully be back at it soon. You guys have a wonderful evening. Bye! Game over, yeah!